Hi, I'm Alicia Williams from Locations Estate Agents Gladstone, and today I'm on the couch with Regina from Morgans. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me here this morning.
Very exciting.
It is very exciting. Normally I'm the one interviewing people, so...
And it is nice to return to because I know you had interviewed me a little while ago on your Money Talking with Reg segment, which is really interesting to see all your community there around financial literacy. So
Yeah, thank you for sharing a part of your world with my world. It's awesome.
property, financial planning, balance.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so you can call me Reg. I am a financial planner by title, but I like to tell people, it's not like I go into a party and say I'm a financial planner because people will just ignore you for the rest of the night. So I try to use the saying that I help people become better financial versions of themselves. So I help people make smart decisions about their money and help them live their best life. I've been in the financial service industry for a decade. I've been a financial planner for about 6 years. And I love what I do.
And you definitely do, because you're just so passionate the way that you speak and communicate with people, particularly on social and then also in person. And the work that you're doing in that financial literacy space, I think is really important, because a lot of people go, oh, money, don't know how to deal with it, but I know how to spend it.
Yeah, don't we all? My advice is plan. So I think financial literacy is super important, and part of my lockdown project during COVID was starting the Money Talk with Reg group, and that was to build financial literacy in the community. So we have education sessions in there to really break down money strategies. It really blows my mind how many basic money strategies people just don't understand. So I'm really passionate about the education piece, and I just really want to help spread awareness, and that's what I do through that group. So yeah, I've got the community piece and then I've got the professional piece as well.
So you've been in the business for a little while now. What has been your biggest challenge to date?
I think working in a traditionally middle-aged man industry, coming through as a younger female, there's been a lot of interesting times that we've had to work through, not always being accepted at face value. Also more recently, the Royal Commission, so the industry had a massive shake-up, and wearing the world of the last generation of advisors that may have done some things that weren't so fabulous, and just trying to push through that. So that's probably the hardest thing. And also in the last 2 years, I've changed licensees, and that's a completely different structure. So I think probably just dealing with change, it never stops, and just being able to adapt to that and keep pushing through and keep remembering why you're doing this. So
yeah, very, very relevant. I think one of the things I've come to accept in my business is that the only constant is change.
Absolutely.
So knowing how to deal with that, what sort of points of reference you have when it comes up for you, and keeping everyone on board so no one gets left behind, as well as keeping your emotional, mental sanity together during that period is always really important. You're really a go-getter, definitely in that space. What's your big goal that's coming up in the next 12 months?
I jest and say I'm going to take over the world with financial planning, maybe just 4680. But in saying that, I've just brought on an executive assistant, so my business has grown substantially in the last 18 months, and my next goal for the next 12 months is just to continue growing and refining and finding our way and just doing more of what we're doing now. So
it's such an exciting time to hear about people like yourself who are in that growth space. I remember when I'd started in real estate, and the first time you have an assistant, and then you have another salesperson, and then you end up with 23 people, and like, holy moly, who are all these people? But it is so exciting because you are in that space where there's no real rules, and you just kind of make it work and grow, and there's that attraction to the business. So it's very exciting.
It is very exciting. I actually feel really important saying I have an assistant, but she is amazing, and I wouldn't be able to do my job without her. But there's big things coming, and I think the great thing is the connections in the community and the professional relationships that I've established, and just doing a good job. That's what builds your business in this town. You can't escape from your reputation in a small town, and I think that if you do the right thing and you love what you do and put your heart and soul into it, it reaps rewards. So
definitely. And I've always said, if you're walking down the street, you need to be able to look someone in the eye and go, I've done everything that I can for you. You can't hide.
Absolutely. There's no hiding, and there's
Yeah.
no hiding. I have the privilege of hearing people's life stories and knowing their financial situation. So when they're walking down the street, and in my head I'm like, you know, they're just normal people. But sometimes they've said to me, are you looking at me judging me what I'm buying? And I'm like, no, not at all. So it's a really, but as I definitely can hold my head high and know that I do my best with my clients.
Yeah.
So
Maybe change it instead of Money Talking with Reg, it's Regina, the Money Police.
The Money Police? No, I don't want that title. I don't want that title.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You are quite well educated. Is there someone that you've always gone to as a mentor, as a business coach, or just anyone in particular that's imparted something on you that has positioned you in a way that you do business now?
I've always found it really difficult to try and find a mentor in my industry because, well, first of all, I think there's like 15% are female, not to play that card, but I think it's hard to align with a male in this industry because they don't have any barriers. I think my biggest mentor are the people I'm surrounded by. My co-workers, my mum, my daughters, normal people who just want to do better for themselves and educate themselves and really push themselves forward. They're the people that I admire and inspire me. I don't have this shining star that's pushing me from behind. I find inspiration in everyday people, and you know, there's lots of local people, business people like yourself that I find you inspire me. There's little inspire pieces all through it. So yeah, I don't know if I really answered that question properly.
I think you did, and it is relevant, and it's not uncommon for people to say that. The thing I would probably struggle with in that space is taking the conversation to a higher level and just getting some really new input, so things that we would not have thought about. But I think, you know, speaking to people like yourself, you're exactly right. We do have a little bit of a tribe here and a community where we can bounce ideas off one another and talk, which is great, which is really, really good. That even though we are a small community and, you know, there's competing industries, that sort of thing, we still have a fairly open conversation, and it's all about supporting one another and raising that bar, which is great.
Absolutely. And Jeff, who owns the branch here in Gladstone, he is the same age as my dad, so he is a absolute abundance of knowledge, experience, and the stories that he tells. So if I could find inspiration in the business sense and the financial services industry, it probably would be from him. So, which is it's a bit strange.
That's good. That is great. Yeah. And what's your one piece of advice for people in business?
I don't know if there's one piece of advice. I think that I'm a bit of a rebel, so if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to go and do it tenfold. So always push the boundaries, always back yourself, educate yourself. If you don't know how to do something, learn how to do it, or hire someone to help you do it. Delegate where appropriate, and evolve and adapt. If something doesn't work, don't throw it in the bin, try another route. So I think it's just rolling with the punches and not getting too weighed down if things don't go your way.
Very good mindset. Very good mindset.
So Morgan's Financial Limited Gladstone is the official business page, but Money Talk with Reg is it's like a personal branding, and that's the financial literacy side of things. So both Morgan's and Money Talk with Reg are on Facebook and Instagram, and Money Talk with Reg has a private Facebook group where all the education sessions are. So if you want to learn more about money, I'd go and join that group. It's a great space.
Do they have to be invited to get to the group, or just request a...
Just a request, agree that everything in there is general advice and you're not going to be a pain. And so anyone can go and join that group, and we have monthly education sessions in there. So some really good content in there. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, look, you're an absolute inspiration, particularly for the people here in Gladstone.
Thank you.
And anyone wanting to learn a little bit more about money and build their confidence through education, literacy in that space. It's not a scary topic.
No,
it is
absolutely
quite straightforward. So
money is sexy, let's say that.
reframing our views around money.
Absolutely. Get talking about it. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.